What's up, everyone? It's Rob here. Good morning. Welcome back to another live stream. And for those of you who are watching this in the future, if you're watching the playback of this, then just so you know, we do these live streams every morning at 9. So welcome back, everybody who is joining us live. Now, let's quickly flip to the screen because there have been some interesting developments overnight, mainly with Shiba Inu coin. If you look, I'll pull up coin market cap right here, and you can see it has actually fallen in the rankings. It's down to number 11. It's fallen below Dogecoin again, down to $29 billion. So it shaved about $11 billion worth of value off of its market cap since its highs. It was around $40 billion back then. So if we actually click on the chart, let's pull up the Shiba Inu chart. Shoot. All right, hold on 1 second. There we go. So Shiba Inu, let's pull up the chart. So down about 14% on the day, almost 15%. And you can see it looks like we're starting to move down from the highs, right? It looks like we might not actually make new highs on Shiba Inu when you see this kind of a thing, unless we get a big catalyst. Ambition 2020 first. Nice. Yeah, well, you were one of the first viewers of the stream when it first started, so that's only right, Ambition. But Shiba Inu, not looking too hot, right? I looked at my Webull account, and the gains were only up 500% instead of 800%. So, it looks like this might be the end, unless they get some really good news, a big catalyst. Robinhood listing, people have been talking about that, but I'm not sure if that's anything other than a rumor. Then it might not be looking good for Shiba Inu coin because we have been falling. So, not great on crypto right now. However, if you are in Prog stock, then I actually just saw this story. It doesn't seem to have affected Prog's price at all. If you look at Prog's price, it looks like we're fairly stagnant in the pre-market, and this story just came out about 2 hours ago, 6:30 a.m., maybe closer to 3 hours ago. But basically, it's just announcing the appointment of Jill Howe to its board of directors. So not a huge change for the stock. It really shouldn't affect the price that much, but it is interesting nevertheless. Alvaro Colocho, good morning, and thank you for joining us, man. I appreciate that. If you look at Tesla, though, Tesla's killing it in the pre-market. We're at all-time highs for Tesla in the pre-market. So impressive stuff. Up to $1,250 per share. I don't think anybody saw this coming, right? When Tesla was hitting $900 at its previous all-time highs, everyone thought Tesla was probably going to bounce off of that. I was still holding my Tesla at the time, and I'm still holding my Tesla now. So I'm excited to see it make all-time highs. Although I know I'm not going to be able to pick the top on this one. I'm just going to hold my Tesla over the long term, right? I like Tesla. I'm not worried about selling it for a quick gain right now. I'd rather just hold the company, right? Although I did see a very interesting statistic. So let me pull that up. So let me see if I can't find a picture of it. This is a good picture. Let's find. It's basically a picture exemplifying how Tesla is currently at their market cap worth more than all of the energy companies in the country, in the S&P at least. It was an interesting picture. Let me see if I can find it on Instagram. That's where I saw it the first time. I'll pull it up real quick. It is an interesting statistic to look at, right? Because you don't think of Tesla as being worth more than all of the energy companies, but we'll pull this up real quick. So on Instagram, I'll show it to you on the main cam. 1 second. And this was actually a post by Umar Ashraf. So here we go. Let me pull up the cam so I can see it too. Right. But this picture right here, Tesla's more valuable than all of U.S. energy. And you can see the Tesla market cap over the years slowly rising. It's the red line right there. Hopefully this is visible for you guys. And the energy companies are the blue line. But that is an interesting statistic, right? To see the Tesla's worth more than all of the S&P energy companies' market caps. So it's making you question, is Tesla still a good valuation? That remains to be seen, right? Obviously, Tesla is trading on a valuation that people hope it will justify in the future, not based off their current earnings. And they are involved in a lot of stuff, right? They have their car business. They're working on insurance. They're doing the AI for their cars, and I assume that has applications in other areas. They're doing a lot of stuff. So Tesla, good company. And then they're doing Tesla Solar and all that. So a lot of good technology coming out of Tesla. Maybe it is worth more than all the energy companies. Maybe in the future value of it would be worth a lot more. So gap fill, says Samuel Weissman. I think there's a gap fill around $940. I think it may be a good entry point for Tesla around $940. Yeah, I see that. If you look at the chart, yep, you can see there is a gap from around $910 to $940, almost $950. So yeah, there it could I think we'd be too bullish to say that we won't be down there at some point. Obviously, if there's some bear market overall for the entire stock market, it would not surprise me to see Tesla going down that far, right? Because that is actually probably going to be a massive support level for us, right? The fact that $900 was our old previous high on Tesla stock, or previous resistance. I could see 900 acting as a massive support for us in the future if we do start to fall. Let's see. Buying all these Sbea dips. Thanks for this plug. Yeah, I'm loving Sbea. Which, speaking of which, let's see what it's at right now. So it's up a little bit in pre-market, unfortunately, right? I'd rather we dip down to 10. At 10, I think it would be an amazing buy. It's still a great buy right here. I'll put in another order, actually, now that I've been reminded of it, but I'll put in another order. We'll buy a little bit more Sbea. We'll put in a limit, right? So if it falls a little bit, then that will execute. Right, so Sbea limit order. Here we go. For 10.25. Hopefully it'll get down there. We'll see. And we'll put it in for extended hours and buy another couple shares. There we go. All right. So, Mohan, what will be the Cemi future? CEMI. Chemibo Diagnostic Inc. So they're about to come out with earnings tomorrow at 4, it looks like. And it looks like over the past 90 days they haven't been doing great. Over the past year they haven't been doing great. So that's not amazing right off the bat, right? The fact that it's downtrending I don't love. There is always an inflection point with those stocks unless they go out of business though. So unfortunately, a lot of them do end up going out of business. A lot of companies end up going out of business, and people tend to not take that into account. But let's see. So the market cap is $69 million, low market cap, so it does have potential to rise a lot if they get something right. But it looks like they've most likely been diluting over the past couple of years with all these negative earnings calls. They've probably been staying afloat through dilution, so just offering more shares. But let's see what this company's all about, what they do. Good morning, Junior Lewis. Good morning. So we're looking at Cemi right now, CEMI, Chemibo Diagnostics, and they engage in developing, manufacturing, marketing, and licensing rapid medical tests. Okay. Potentially COVID tests. It offers rapid point-of-care tests for infectious, tropical, and fever and respiratory diseases, handheld analyzers, and veterinary products. The firm distributes its products to hospitals and clinics, physicians' offices, clinical laboratories, public health organizations, government agencies, and consumers. All right. Founded in 1985. So, with this company, I would have thought if they were in rapid testing, if they were in that industry, I would have thought that when COVID hit, that they would be doing much better than they currently are, right? I would have hoped for that at least. Maybe they didn't get any contracts to make rapid tests for COVID, but Chemibo starts distribution of third-party COVID-19 antigen. All right, so that happened on August 27th. So it looks like they just haven't been doing very well. They haven't been getting good earnings. We'll see. Maybe this earnings call, if it's more positive, then they could turn around. But as it stands right now, I'm not too bullish on them, just because I hate to trade against the trend. Right? If they're trending down, then I'd be foolish to think that I could pick the exact bottom. I mean, maybe you can do that sometimes. You can do it sometimes, but I'm not too sure, right? Maybe the earnings call will turn around. It looks like they are starting to move up in anticipation of the earnings call, so that is good. And they could do good on the earnings call. If they do, then that could be good. Rich M, good morning. What are you hearing about Lucid? So let's take a look at Lucid. Looks like Lucid is continuing to stagnate around in between $40 and $34. Let's actually draw a little resistance line at 40. We haven't done that yet. Right there, 40.01. Okay, so now we've got that resistance on Lucid, and it looks like they're just continuing to stagnate. Starting to move back up, though, closer to 40, so that's good. Maybe they'll break it, but it seems more likely that they'll continue to trade in range. They could go either above 40 or below 34. It's too soon to say, right? Right now they are trending up. It seems at the moment. Let's see if we can't get a good view on this. Over the past 30 days, it seems like they might hit 40, but they are getting kind of close. So typically these things don't always just bounce right off the supports and resistances. Sometimes they trip traders up. They'll get kind of close and then start trending down. And it's tough to say. You'll just have to watch the price action on Lucid. It looks like we're currently in a little downtrend over these past couple 30-minute candlesticks. So overall, though, we are moving closer to 40. We'll have to see what happens with that. I'm not sure if any news came out for them, ever since they started delivering their vehicles. Let's see if there's anything. It doesn't look like anything has happened of note for them since. Well, actually, Lucid stock news. Hold on 1 second. Here we go. Okay. So Lyft, actually, I was reading a story about Lyft earlier this morning, but in relation to Tesla, but it looks like Lucid might be gaining off the same news that Lyft, I think Lyft said that they wanted to expand into EVs. They wanted to get more EVs in their fleet. Has doubled down on the company's goal of having... Okay, yeah, so Lyft's co-founder, John Zimmer, has doubled down on the company's goal of having an all-electric fleet by 2030, and they're in active discussions with automakers. Now, it seems like this is a good thing for Lucid. However, it is unlikely, in my opinion, that Lucid will, at least in the short term, be directly benefiting from this, because the Lucid Air Dream, the car that they have available, is, I think, $159,000. So I'm not sure if these pay-to-ride businesses like Lyft and Uber want to buy Lucid's cars just because they are so expensive. They'd have to charge very high fees for people riding in them. And I will point out one real quick, though, that we've got 37 viewers and 9 likes. Let's see if we can't bump that up. Maybe we could bump it up to 20 likes, even if half the people in the stream liked it. That would be much appreciated. Maybe we could even get it up to 35. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. So, Mano Mohan, looking at OCGN, anything associated with COVID seems scary. Yeah, so OCGN is experiencing a massive dip. We covered this yesterday. It's mostly due to the technical bounce off of $16, right? Because it was good news that they got. And it looks like off of $16, if you look in this top left chart right here, they haven't been able to get past that over the past year. And people were looking at that point as a great point to take profits on. It only traded above 16 very briefly. It did get up to 1880 at one point, but that was during the pre-market. It was during big volume during the pre-market, but people quickly realized, and once market opened, it sold off fairly quickly, right? Within 5 minutes, it was below $16. So unfortunately for OCGN, it is currently downtrending, and you're going to have to wait if you want to get in on it. I mean, you don't have to wait, but what I would do if I were interested in trading OCGN would be to wait for a reversal of momentum, right? I'm not going to try and catch the bottom and just buy in and hope that it, at that point, starts moving up again. I would rather wait to see that it's been moving up a little bit. That way you don't quite get in on the bottom, but you don't you don't catch a falling knife. So I think that's probably a strategy that I'm looking for with OCGN, right? So DWAC, though, interesting day yesterday. After the stream ended, I think it was after the stream ended, we ended it right around when it started spiking up, and then it bounced off of $70 to the downside, unfortunately, and closed the day around 63, and we've remained stagnant throughout after hours and pre-market for the most part, right? For the most part, we've remained stagnant. So we'll have to see what happens. I mean, we have been experiencing a lot of volatility with DWAC. We were down as low as 55 just 2 days ago, and that was our previous support that we'd formed about a week prior to that. So we'll see what happens with DWAC. We are still closer to 70 than 55, but just barely. So we'll see if we can't move up to 70 and start using that as support. We tried earlier last week, so hopefully we'll be able to do it. But you can see that right now it seems like we've just stagnated a little bit. We're just kind of consolidating after the initial run up that we got, and hopefully we'll start to move up. We'll see though. So, Dapper Romeo, Bed Bath & Beyond Inc., BBBY, making moves, the new GME to the moon, $30 plus. We'll look at BBBY. I'll pull it up. I saw that it was trending on Reddit. I don't know if it's the next GameStop. We'll see. Now, right here, you can see GameStop. This is top trending stocks on Reddit, just for those of you who haven't seen this before. But GameStop is the #1 top trending stock on Reddit. It has 948 mentions, 20,000 upvotes, and it's the #1 stock right above Tesla and the SPY. And then OCGN, actually. OCGN is making its way up the Reddit ranking. However, BBBY, Bed Bath & Beyond, is the #7 trending stock. So it is fairly high. It does have a decent number of mentions, 213 and 1,150 upvotes. So it's gotten a lot of attention recently. If we look, you can see they did spike up pretty massively. They were trading at $19 before the spike. Actually, that was last night. Let's look at the real one. Right, they were trading at $16 before the spike and $32 after. However, they did continue. They just instantly bounced off of 32 and trended down and opened the day at 25, and then got shot down on the first part of 22.70 and just trended down the rest of the day. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with BBBY. They're still up from where they started moving from, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with them because this is still relatively cheap compared to where they were just a couple of months ago. They were trading above 30 at one point for a significant period of time. So let's see what goes on with BBBY. We'll see. Tasachi Ben Shoshi. What's going on in mRNA? Moderna. So, Moderna, it looks like we just had our earnings call. Did we just have that? Let's see. Yeah, just had the earnings call. It was not as good as expected, apparently. I've not been following this for a bit, but yeah, you can see they were expected to get $8.95 per share, and they only got $7.70 worth of earnings. So, not great. And who's to say? Let's see what happened with mRNA. I am curious what happened with that earnings call. Okay, let's see. So, Moderna, hold on 1 second. 1 second here. Okay, so here we go. Moderna shares fall after company cuts 2021 forecast for COVID vaccine sales. Moderna shares fell Thursday after it cut its COVID vaccine sales forecast for the year, and drug maker missed earnings and revenue expectations for the third quarter. So all around bad news, right? They had lower earnings and they cut expectations for technically their future earnings, right? Because the vaccine sales directly contribute to their future earnings. So not great. Revenue was $4.97 billion versus $6.21 billion expected. They're missing over $1 billion worth of revenue. Okay, so they just haven't been doing great with the vaccine, it looks like. Looks like Moderna hasn't been selling as many as they would prefer. So let's see. Christopher Wong. When's Sundial going to skyrocket? Well, we'll look at Sundial for a second, but it's really tough to say. I mean, obviously Sundial is going to move up a ton when we get legalization in the United States, and I think that we could break the previous highs that we saw off the last pump if we get legalization in the United States. I think that would be amazing for these cannabis companies, amazing for the expansion of their businesses, as well as gaining access to U.S. banking. That would be very convenient for them. So Sundial, I mean, it's tough to say. Either we're going to have to start seeing some positive earnings, right? They did just acquire an alcohol company. They expanded into the alcohol sector, and that could really contribute to better earnings for them in the short term and midterm. But really, their big earnings are going to come from cannabis sales, and that isn't likely to really skyrocket until cannabis is legal in the U.S. So, Christopher Wong, let's go PHUNware, PHUN. Yeah, do we have that pulled up? No, we don't, but we can pull it up real quick. We'll pull it up real quick. Yep, so PHUN is also stagnant, much like DWAC. Very similar chart right there. And Mohammed Sadiq, how you doing, Rob? I'm doing great, man. How are you? I'm doing great right now. Got a decent amount of sleep last night. So the past couple nights that I've been doing these streams, I haven't been getting as much sleep just because I've been getting up a little bit earlier, but I got to bed a little earlier, so I think I'm going to do that in the future. And Tasachi Benshoshi, thanks. You're welcome. And thanks, Rob Boy, says Mano. You're welcome also. And what's with Penn, Penn, came out with earnings and they were okay, Barstool expanding, new casino, etc., but down in pre-market. Is this because earnings were already factored in? Let's take a look at Penn, Penn. Penn National Gaming Inc. Okay, so yeah, earnings, it looks like, weren't quite as good as expected. They were estimated to get 84 cents per share, and they got 52. So the earnings were a bit worse than expected. That's why they've fallen. They haven't fallen all that much though, for an earnings miss of that much, right? They've only fallen about $3 per share from where they closed. Not even that, but all in all, not too horrific. What happened to them? About $2 per share actually, if they open up where they're trading right around now. So yeah, they missed earnings by a decent margin, but that's what happened with Penn. And Christopher Wong, what about Hexo? Thanks. Hexo, I like Hexo as well. I hold both Hexo and Sundial. Same thing with this one though. Hexo, I should say, I don't believe they've expanded into the alcohol business, so their short term and midterm isn't looking quite as good as Sundial. Sundial was able to accrue a lot of capital through share offerings while the price was relatively high. Hexo may have been able to do that as well, but Hexo hasn't put the capital to use as well as Sundial has, it seems. So they haven't been able to acquire an alcohol business, I don't believe, to maintain decent earnings and revenue throughout the period that they're waiting for legalization. But I think Hexo will also benefit come legalization, or it's always possible they will get eaten up by another company and merge with them, in which case you would, if you're holding Hexo, then be holding the shares of the other company. So there's a couple of options there, but I'm a holder of Hexo because I think better to spread myself out across all the stocks. You never know which one of these cannabis stocks is going to become the big kahuna. So what app or website do you use to see trending stocks on Reddit? I'll pull it up right here. apewisdom.io. Apewisdom. So this is what I use, apewisdom.io. It's useful for just seeing the trending stocks on Reddit. And it looks like we've got 56 viewers, 22 likes. Let's see if we can't bump that up, maybe get to 30 likes. We'll see if we can do it. We'll see. If everybody liked the stream, we would actually have 58 likes, but maybe we can get to 30 if half the people just about like the stream, because we've got 60 now. So we'll see if we can't do it. It does help get the stream out to more people. We already got to 30, actually. Maybe we can shoot it up to 40. Maybe we can get it to 40. Maybe that's getting a little ahead of myself. All right, Led Zepp. Good morning. Good morning, Led Zepp. Good morning. But yeah, I should say the reason that you guys probably hear me asking for likes a lot, the reason I do it is because it does directly influence the YouTube algorithm and helps get the video out to a couple more people. And we have had some really great calls in the chat. It's actually been very useful since we don't have a Reddit or Discord or anything like that. The chat is where we mostly hear about these plays that other people are looking into, and sometimes we've bought into them, like Black Rifle Coffee. So it is really helpful to just get some more people in the stream. And Sayborn Video Services 23 here, lol. Maybe 61 watchers. I'll give a like. Yeah. So Mohammed Sadiq, TMC going above their lows. Now it is a buy, Rob. Let's look. TMC. Yep. The Metals Co. And let's see right here real quick. Let me pull this up on another page. We've also got heard about Sbea here. Bought 200 shares at 1030. Nice buy on that. Nice buy. Thoughts on AMP coin? They're an instant collateral coin for BTC. Interesting. I'll look at that in 1 second. But yeah, the Metals Co. is up off 284 up to 319. So it looks like they are starting a little bit of an uptrend. But what did cause them to sink so massively? Let's see when this was. 914. Just about. So circuit breaker to the upside. Okay. Looks like it was on Wall Street Bet's radar. Trading higher as retail investors' interest in the stock on social media grows. Unexpected increase in August. All right, and then what happened? Around 9:20, they started falling, tanking. Okay, so nothing bad seems to have happened as of 9:22. But they had fallen quite a bit. It looks like they were a SPAC and then they went public. They spiked a bit and then fell massively. Okay, so maybe they got shorted. Let's see. Let's see what happened on Ortex, TMC, the Metals Co. Let's see what happened on Ortex. So not a very high short interest, all things considered, right? 1.99%. So very low, only 2.7 million shares. Interesting. Interesting. So let me pull up AmpCoin now. Let's look at AmpCoin. That one sounded promising. If it's collateral for Bitcoin, I'm not quite sure what that means. Collateral for Bitcoin. But let's pull it up. So AmpCoin, it's currently trading at 7 cents per coin, and just about a month ago it was at 5 cents per coin. So a decent gain. It's been doing not much. Okay, over the past year it was trading at 0.3 cents per coin. So they have gained somewhat significantly over the past year, and it looks like they're on their way up right now. It's tough to say if they'll continue rising. They're near, let's see, are they near? Not near all-time highs quite yet. They'd have to get to 10 cents per coin to do that, but they're near their short-term all-time highs, right, of 7.7 cents. Actually, they might currently be beating their all-time high at 0.7 or at 7.8 cents per share. Their previous high, it looks like, was at 7.79. So they might actually be at their current all-time highs, right, for their past month or so. Yep. So AmpCoin looking promising. I'm curious though what the deal is with it. So AmpCoin news: Binance funds $116 million initiative aimed at developing a cryptocurrency ecosystem in France. Not sure what that has to do with AMP. Maybe they'll be using it. So Craig writes, $68 billion Bitcoin dispute has both sides claiming he's Satoshi Nakamoto, which for those of you who don't know, I believe Satoshi Nakamoto is the anonymous figure who created Bitcoin. Interesting. So you can buy AmpCoin on Coinbase or crypto, says Christopher Wong. Good morning, Rob. I'm here for Prog holding 25,000 shares, says Nilesh Patel. Well, let's take a look at Prog and see what it's been doing. We haven't looked at it the past couple of minutes, so we'll pull up Prog, and it looks like market's going to open pretty soon. So Prog, we've got right here. There we go. So it looks like we were pretty stagnant during after hours. We're around 313. I'm hopeful that we can stay above 3 today, right? Hopefully we're going to stay above 3 and get above 320 again. It looks like we fell out of favor yesterday. We were trading around 320, couldn't quite hold above it. Hopefully we will be able to today. Hopefully we'll be able to get up above 320 and stop pouncing off of this $3 level as a support. We want to use 320 as a support and start moving up again. Start putting the pressure on shorts and those institutions that are selling call options on it. So if we pull up the Prog options, let's see what they're up to now. 32,350 call options and 28,000 $4 call options. So pretty numerous. 39,000 $3 call options also, I should say. So shorts really want this thing going down. They want this thing not just below 3, but there's a lot of options, even 16,000 at 2.5 and 13,000 at 2. They want this thing. They want this thing to go down, down, down. So people are not happy with that. So Sherry Victor says, hello, what about PHUN and ROM and SOS and Guilt? Please, thank you. Okay, well, we'll look at PHUN. We'll look at one of those. That's a lot to look at right now, but we'll look at PHUN because that, I think, is more heavily tied to things that we're interested in, like DWAC. So it looks like they've been relatively stagnant throughout the day. We're going to have to see. This opening bell could be very interesting. DWAC not getting very much volume in the pre-market. Very low pre-market volume. Interesting to see a lot of those, these really stagnant bars that don't move the price at all. So we'll see what happens with DWAC, and PHUN will surely follow suit, or most likely at least. So we'll see what happens with that. Tesla up above 1230 though for the open. It looks like we're going to open above 1230, and then it looks like potentially be crashing below 1230. We're getting close to it. But all of these stocks, let's see, OCGN is down 13% over the course of the pre-market and after hours. DWAC starting to have an initial movement upwards. PHUN, on the other hand, down 1.59. So that's unfortunate, but we're doing decently with DWAC. It looks like decent volume came in. 30,000 shares, not the highest that we've seen in the past, right? But that's understandable. Tesla falling, though. Tesla's moving down, it looks like. PHUN as well, despite DWAC moving up. That might not be the case for long, right? It should, at least as in the past, follow DWAC very closely. But right now, this is interesting. We're seeing the opposite. We're seeing it move down. Obviously, it's been a little bit more bearish. But OCGN, yeah, so what we're looking for with OCGN is potentially, I mean, we could be seeing this right now, a little rebound. We did form a little bit of support in after hours yesterday, and it looks like we acted on that support in pre-market around 1075. So potentially we could be bouncing up. It's looking good for us, right? This could be the reversal momentum that we're looking for that could get us moving back to the upside. It's likely that we were overextended. If we pull out the 10-day chart, you can see that we got pretty low off of this dump, right? Lower than we had been the past couple of days. So 1075 might be acting as a little support for us. That might be where we choose to bounce off of. Maybe some traders are looking to get back into OCGN. I think we can pull it up on StockTwits, and it should be the top trending, or at least the most active stock on StockTwits. Yep, so here we go. The most active stock, number one, OCGN. Traders are still looking at this one closely. So traders are likely looking to swing it back to the upside. So DWAC, though, moving up in a big way. PHUN following suit. There we go. That's exactly what we wanted to see. That's exactly what we were hoping for with PHUN and DWAC. So Ambition says Avis Car is off its high horse. Yeah, I never actually covered car stock, but I heard about it, so we can pull it up real quick. It looked like it had spiked up pretty big off of earnings or something that they said about earnings. I didn't look into it too much, but yeah, good earnings call moved them up, and then the earnings conference may have been what sparked this big rally in car stock up all the way to 545. Yeah, I didn't touch that one. But it was interesting to see. I looked at it lightly. So waiting to buy OCGN. Yep. It looks like OCGN is moving back down. Maybe we'll get a little bounce off of 1075, 1079, somewhere around there. That is where we bottomed out in after hours. So we'll see if we can't get a bounce off of that. DWAC looking decent. We're looking decent on DWAC. We're up 1.89% on the day. PHUN on this is car stock. Let's pull back up PHUN. Yeah, only down 0.46, so very close to breaking even on PHUN. 0.34. We're getting close. Tesla is struggling, right? We're just kind of bouncing around the open, bouncing off of 1230. It looks like $1,230 acted as a little support for us, but we'll see if it holds. Tesla's remaining pretty stagnant. They've remained stagnant for most of the pre-market, other than when they initially moved up to 1250. So we'll see. Maybe we can make new highs on Tesla today. Maybe we can break 1250. We're already making, I believe, these are new intraday highs, all-time highs for Tesla stock. Yeah, we've never been up this high intraday. So very cool stuff. You look at that. We have a little gap from 1215 to 1230, just about. So Tesla's doing good regardless, right? Up 1.68%. You can't argue with that. So Emily Radgwer says, Good morning, Emily. Ambition, thoughts on BENE? We'll pull it up. Okay, we've been looking at this stock for a bit now, over the past 30 days. Another Trump pump. I think it's just going to follow, it typically looks like if we pull out the longer-term chart on DWAC, it looks like it's just been following pretty closely with what DWAC has been doing. So once again, we'll pull up the market cap and see how volatile it could be. But I think it'll be important what happens with DWAC and Trump. If Trump talks about DWAC, I think that's going to be good for all of these stocks. BENE, MARK, PHUN, all of the Trump pump stocks, I think it'll be good for. BENE is though very low compared to where it spiked to, right? It's down to around where it actually spiked from, around $10. So this one looks like it's suffered quite a bit, but low market cap, right? $159 million. So there is the potential that it could be a bit more volatile than DWAC at this point. But OCGN is starting to move back up, right? It looks like we're getting a little bounce off of 11. Maybe we'll hold it. It's tough to say. It's a very volatile one, and we have been trending down. So Christopher Wong, have you heard about Dogelon token? I've heard of it. I haven't looked at it ever. There are so many. Dogelon Mars, ticker symbol Elon. That's interesting. I've never actually looked at this token, but I have heard of it. Dogelon Mars token, trading at a very small fraction of a penny. Only a $600 million market cap. There are so many of these little cryptos, and I would love to be able to buy them all up. Just be able to get in on all of them. But they're just not easily accessible, right? I don't know where this is trading, if it's on Binance or anything. I don't have a Binance account. I haven't gotten into those small cap cryptos because they're not available on the major brokerages like Robinhood or Webull. Looks like DWAC, though, dipping, as is Tesla. DWAC, let's see what happened with PHUN. BENE is not quite following DWAC, not too closely. Tends to follow the macro trend, but these little movements, it's not following quite as closely as it used to, right? So PHUN following a little bit. So once again, DWAC getting dumped, but not quite the same story with PHUN, right? We're seeing slight movements down. Up now it's really picking up. Traders are looking at the charts. Samrat Singh, good morning. Good morning. Emily says, what do you think about Zometica? We'll take a look at Zometica. I know that's a popular one on Robinhood. Looks like it's a penny stock still, 54 cents. I hadn't bought into. I don't think, actually, maybe when I heard about it, it wasn't a penny stock. It might have been above $1. It was up there for a while this year. So, yeah, it's not been doing great. But let me pull up their market cap and see what's going on with them. So, Zometica. Definitely heard of it. I may have even bought it at one point, but I'm not sure. So Zometica operates as a veterinary health company which engages in the discovery, development, and commercialization of pharmaceuticals for the companion pet. It offers products for dogs and cats by focusing on the unmet needs of clinical veterinarians. Okay, so interesting. I'm not sure what the potential market for that is, but let's look at Zometica's market cap. Not sure how large they could potentially get. They already seem pretty big for that kind of a product. $540 million market cap. I could see them selling a decent amount of products, but man, I'm not sure if people aren't taking care of their pets that much and they start developing a lot of health issues or just getting old. I think that, typically wealthier people might be more willing to spend a lot of money on their pets, but pets, it's still almost a norm, I think, to put them down when, unfortunately, you put them down when they start to get sick and really old. A lot of people just can't afford, thousands or tens of thousands of dollars worth of medical treatments, and it's sad. But with a company like this, I'm not too interested in, just because you can see they have been downtrending, but they were up. They're up from 6 cents, so massive gain on the year. So they have been doing decently, but down from their highs of 291. They already have a fairly substantial market cap, not $1 billion, but I'm just not sure how big this company can get, right? How many pets there are that need help, obviously. Obviously, I'd have to do a little bit more looking into that, how big the pet healthcare market is. But it doesn't seem off the top of my head to be something that would be too massive. So I'd be a little wary of Zometica. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad stock. Obviously, it was up at $2.91 at one point, so there is the potential that it could pump again. And we'll see. Maybe they do end up improving their business and whatnot. But it looks like they're not profitable right now. And I'm just not sure. Maybe if they expand the business a little bit into just general pet health, make it something a little cheaper, maybe start selling some kind of pet treats that are supposed to be healthy for the pet instead of just medicine for pets that are sick. That could expand their market, because how many people, first of all, have pets, and then how many are buying their pets medicine because the pets are sick? That's what I worry about. So Acorn Sucks says, get your pet medical insurance. Kidding. Yeah. I mean, I bet it exists. It's surely out there, pet medical insurance. People want to sell it. So someone's bought it, I'm sure. Pet medical insurance would not surprise me at all. In fact, that would be a bit of a better business, right? I'd be more interested in that, in the insurance potentially, right? If they marketed that correctly, a lot of people have pets. Now, the thing is, I don't know how many pets are actually getting sick, but I bet there are a lot of people, if you made it a cheap subscription, who would be willing to buy that pet medical insurance. And my main concern with Zometica is that I'm just not sure how many pets really are getting sick, and then how many people want to pay for their treatment. With pet medical insurance, though, I could see a lot of people getting it if it was a cheap subscription. That way, that you don't have to pay too much if the pet does get sick. But it could be a nice peace of mind thing. Dogs get sick, and then Amish take them out behind the barn. Yeah, that that's how they do it in Amish country. Here, I think we take them to the vet, and the vet does it. But yeah, it's not a pretty sight for a lot of those pets. I bet they're very humane with it, though. Hopefully they're humane with it. So let's take a look real quick. For those of you who are interested in FAMI stock, we've got FAMI. It is moving up 4.6% on the day. We're getting close to that $37 support/resistance, just that key level that we've played at several times. So we'll see if we can't move up. We were down all the way at 33 though, which is what we bounced off of 2 days ago, and we're continuing to move up with FAMI. So we'll have to see what happens with it. But a good early morning trading session right here for FAMI stock. We're moving up decently well. Moving up decently. Now, for those of you who don't know, who are interested in PROG, let me pull that up. There was a story that I shared, but it was near the beginning of the stream, and I bet a lot of people missed it. So let's see. Let's find the news for PROG stock. Where was it? It was basically just saying that someone was appointed to the board of directors. But here we go. Progenity announces appointment of Jill Howe to its board of directors. So this obviously isn't having too large of an impact on the stock. We can pull PROG up again. Looks like we are back up above 320. Great stuff for PROG. But in the pre-market, when this was announced, it didn't move the stock up that much. And I doubt that we're spiking on that news, right? It was just an interesting article. So yeah, PROG stock is doing good, though. We're back up above 320, exactly what we want to see. Potentially on our way to testing 350 again. Hopefully we'll pass the test and move back above that, because after that, we're looking at 4. And that's when I know a lot of people are in the money, because very few people had the opportunity to be buying above 4. There were very few instances where we were trading above 4. So hopefully everyone has their cost basis somewhere below $4, because I think that $4 is attainable over today or the next couple of days. That would be a massive gain, right? But we're already up 7%. We'll have to see what happens with it. Obviously, we have to get past 350 first, and to do that, we have to get to 350. So we'll see what happens with PROG, but it is looking good. It is looking good so far, up 8.6%, just skyrocketing right here. So good stuff on PROG. DWAC bouncing around a little bit, right? Found some support at 62. We bounced off of that. A massive red bar. We've been moving up ever since, but not, well, just barely green on the day, up 0.24%. On DWAC, down 14% on OCGN, right? We started moving down again. We'll see what happens when we get to that 1075 level. That was the low of after hours. The low of this dump actually was at 1075, so we'll see what happens. That could act as a decent support. Probably not the strongest, but we'll see what happens, right? I'd be surprised if we just blasted right through it and didn't at least see a little bit of a bounce. Potentially, play around it for a little bit, use it as a resistance at least, but we'll see what happens. We're getting close with OCGN. We're getting very close. It looks like we might not get there. We'll see. We'll have to keep an eye on it. So, let's see. What do you think about Zion? Get your dog sick and Amish take them out by the barn. What's your largest portfolio moneymaker today? Let's see. Probably not on this account. I doubt that anything on this account is up too big today. No. So, let's see on the Robinhood. What's the biggest maker on Robinhood? Up. Okay. So, looks like, let's do today's return and see what's up the most. So far, I'm seeing some King Ross Gold options contracts. Just these are at the top of my portfolio, but we've lost a bit of money on these, right? We've lost about a bit of money on King Ross Gold options, but they're up $162. Gold, the ticker symbol is up 2% today, so $112 there. Let's see. I am well diversified, so a lot of these. It looks like the biggest gainer actually in the long-term speculative portfolio is Barrick Gold, up 2% today. We own 300 shares, or $5,698 worth. And overall, we've lost about 23%. Let me pull up the cam on this. Overall, we've lost some money on it, right? Just because the gold markets are pretty manipulated, in my opinion. But we are up 1.88%, a little over $100 on this one today. So that's the largest gain. It's not too green of a day. Overall, we're actually down $58 over this entire portfolio on the day. So not ideal, but nothing new there. That's how we've been doing it for the past couple of months. It's not been the best for this portfolio. Is very heavily weighted in gold and cannabis. So once one of those pops, though, it should be very good. That's the long-term speculative. And John Stewart, pick up 200 SBA. Thanks for the tip. You're welcome, man. Yeah, I've got some SBA as well. So what's happening with OCGN? Well, we just blasted through 1075, which was the low of the after hours. So now it's all downhill. It looks like down 17% on the day. Considering what happened in after hours and pre-market. But we are doing, we're not doing great with OCGN. Not gonna lie, we're not doing great with OCGN. It's not one that I would be looking to get into until I saw a reversal in momentum, right? Because right now, if you look, let's find the right chart for this. We've just been plummeting, and until we actually stop plummeting, I'm not going to try to pick the bottom on that one, Sam. I'm not going to try to pick the bottom on OCGN. So we'll see what happens with it. But it's not looking great right now. So PROG, though. PROG has been doing very well, up 8.6% on the day. Tesla up 1.55%, and DWAC down about 1%. Down about 1%. So nothing crazy going on. Nothing crazy other than the fact that PROG is up 8%. I think that's pretty good for them. The fact that they've gotten back up above 320 is fairly significant. They played around that for a while yesterday, it looks like, and now that we're back up above, that is a good sign, right? The fact that it kind of looks like we're starting to reverse this downtrend that we've been on. Every good reversal starts with a big green bar. Not necessarily, but typically it can. And it looks like that's what we're seeing right now, so that's good stuff. And we've currently got 67 viewers, 46 likes. If we could bump it up to 50, that would be appreciated. I would appreciate getting up to 50 likes. It does help get the stream out to more people. We've currently got 69 viewers. Let's keep it that way. Let's keep it there. No more leaving or coming or going. 71. It's too late. It's too late. There we go. We're up to 71. So we're almost at 50 likes, though. Getting very close to that. Very close. Now let's see what has been going on with the cryptos. We haven't looked at that yet today. Bitcoin at 61,000. 61,000. So it's just been stagnating. It's not been doing too much over the past while. Ever since it made its all-time highs. Impressive stuff. I feel like it was hardly covered. The fact that Bitcoin made all-time highs. It was at 67,000 just about. And since then, it has just sat around the low 60s. So we'll see what happens with it. I mean, I know people are expecting and hoping for a big pump up, but it's getting to be a very large market cap, over $1 trillion market cap. So I'm just not sure if people are able to, throw that much more capital into it. I feel like a lot of the people who are very pro Bitcoin are already very heavily allocated in it. So we're gonna have to see where the next surge of capital comes from. But I'm not sure. Not sure what's gonna happen with Bitcoin. We'll see, though. We'll see. And we are up to 58 likes. Nice. We actually got quite a few. That's awesome. So, yeah, Bitcoin's doing decently. We can take a peek at Ethereum. Ethereum's been doing very well, been beating Bitcoin over the past couple months. If you look at the past year, the previous high that we reached was 4,100, and now we are at 45 right now. So we are actually above our previous peak with Ethereum. So Ethereum, I think, has a bit more of a use case, right? At Bitcoin, the argument seems to be that you can hold it and it will store your value for you. I'm not too sure about that argument, but supposedly that's why a lot of people are buying it now. I will show you guys. I have shown you in the past, but I messed up last time I showed you, and last time when I typed in M1 Finance, it switched to the face cam, and I didn't get to show you guys the actual perks of the card on screen. So For those of you who are interested in credit cards and other forms of finance besides stocks, right? For those of you who like to maximize cash back that you get, you might be interested in the owner's rewards card. This isn't a sponsorship or anything. I just got the card and I happen to like it. It's a metal card, and you earn money back on stocks, up to 10% cash back when you shop at certain places based off of the stocks that you own, right? So if you own stock in, well, we can see a list right here. If you own stock in Adobe or AMC or Dropbox or GameStop or Netflix or Spotify, then you get a big discount, a 10% discount when you buy products or services from those companies using your M1 Finance card. So you get 10% cash back for those companies. There's a big list that I have up on screen of the 10% cash back companies. You get 5% cash back if you like Chipotle, American Airlines, Domino's, Starbucks, Dollar General, FedEx, Delta. So a lot of the airlines and some food places like Chipotle and Starbucks if you're interested in that. And then 2.5% cash back at some other places like Airbnb, actually. If you like traveling, that could be good. You get cash back at Apple buying the iPhone, Twitch, Whole Foods, Costco. So a lot of food places, again, McDonald's, Popeyes, Burger King. You get a lot of cash back. And then 1.5% cash back on everything else from the owner's M1 Rewards. I messed up last time and didn't quite show the cam on that, but now you've got it. So Prog is doing incredibly well, up 11.58%. Saucy Fredo says, Prog to the moon, baby. Let's go. Let's make those shorts cover. And frogs and moons and rockets. So yeah, Prog is doing very well. We're getting very close to 350. Hopefully we don't get bounced off. If you look, that's what happened last time we hit 350. We got bounced right off. But this is very strong momentum that we're seeing in early morning trading. So we do have a chance to break through 350, I'm hoping. Saucy Fredo open for Prog going to $5. I'm hopeful. Hopefully we can do it. We'll see if we can. Should be good if we could do that. A lot. I mean, everyone would be making money at that point, except the very few people, if you look back, who were buying above 6. Even some people were buying above 6, up to $6.46. People were paying for Prog in the very early morning on this day right here. So Prog is getting very close to $3.50. Hopefully, we're going to be able to break that. So Saucy Fredo says, I'm in at 129 and I'm holding till $5. Wow, nice. That is an awesome buy on Prog, and that would be an amazing profit to be taking there. So that's awesome. So 129. Yep, you bought in pretty darn early. It looks like probably back on this peak even, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe you just got it, for cheap really early on. Nice buy, though. That's cool. But yeah, you're probably pretty happy with that profit. So it looks like we're doing good. We're moving up towards 350. Hopefully we can get past that. That'll be the next hurdle. And at $3.50, we can pull up the options and see how many will be coming in the money. It looks like at $3.50 at that strike price for the November 19th strike date, 32,718 open interest call options are available for that. So really good stuff with Prog then. That would definitely put some buying pressure on those institutions that have been selling those call options. DWAC has been moving down, though. If we're looking at the chart, down 1.9%, 1.68 now. That's not ideal. And OCGN just blasted right through 1075. Didn't act on that at all. We'll just get rid of that nasty line then. Yeah, this is a tough one. It's just been getting shot down today and yesterday, right? And after hours pre-market, during the trading day yesterday, we were just getting shot down with OCGN and suffering a lot. So that is unfortunate. That's not great for OCGN. Yep, and Tesla is still just stagnating, it looks like, around, and I've lost the mouse, here it is, stagnating around 1230. So really trying to break down below that, but buyers keep coming in every time we do and pumping us back up. So we'll see what happens with Tesla. It looks like people are very keen to be taking profits at these all-time highs, but a lot of people are just holding Tesla. A lot of people believe in Tesla over the long term. I know Kathy Woods, I think, set a $3,000 price target for Tesla. So let's see what she says for Tesla. Kathy Wood price target. So let's see. Kathy Wood would sell Tesla next year if it reached $3,000, she said, on Bloomberg. So that's interesting. And at Barron's, Kathy Wood, Tesla stock could hit 3,000. Kathy Wood says how that compares with Wall Street. So that's interesting. That happened. That was a ways away. That was back in March when she said that. That was back in March. But I think at that point, Tesla, if we look back at a longer term chart, back in March, it had already fallen. So it had already reached its size of 900 and it had fallen more. So Kathy would once again set a $3,000 price target. Interesting. Yep. Tesla's doing good, though. OCGN, any good news? Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's been good. I mean, the good news came out yesterday, and that actually tanked the stock, right? Unfortunately, they got WHO emergency listing approval, ELA, I think it's called. And that means that their vaccine, I believe, is an acceptable vaccine, right? It means that people who have it face lighter travel restrictions and quarantine restrictions than people who don't. So it is good news that came out for them yesterday. However, they tanked on it, right? They were up at 1880 in the pre-market, and they closed the day around 1270. So nothing great going on with OCGN. We're down around 1069 today. We got as low as 1032, so we'll see. Insiders sold 25,000 shares of Tesla, says Acorn Sucks. That is unfortunate. Let's see if we can't find that. Let's see. Let's try and pull it up. Ortex might have some data on that. We'll see. Insiders. So let's see what happened with it. On Ortex. It's taking a second to load. We're taking a second to load the insider data, but hopefully we'll get through. So here we go. We have the Tesla insider trades. So yeah, the last thing I see, is shares traded 25K. It was a sell order on the 1st of November. So actually, let's see when that was, what price that was at. It looks like not a bad sell. It looks like not a bad sell at all. They were selling it above 1,100%. We're obviously higher now, right? We're at all-time highs for Tesla stock as of today. But yeah, that $25,000 sell order looks like it came in on November 1st. So 25,000 shares. It was by Denholm Robin. And now it looks like they hold about 5 shares. And it looks like they sold 25K multiple times. Okay, never mind. They exercised some options contracts the first time. Okay. Nice. And then they sold them. So OCGN insiders sold at 15. Okay, OCGN insiders. Let's take a look at OCGN and see what went on with that. I am curious. I don't typically look at these insider trades, but it is interesting to keep up with, I guess, what the insiders of the company are doing. I guess they know a little bit better than us. So let's see. Yeah, the last insider trade that we've got for OCGN, at least, on Ortex is October 26th, 10K shares. The CFO sold 10K shares on October 26th. So let's see where OCGN was October 26th. Okay, this is actually when we dumped a little bit, but we did get much higher, right? He probably sold them for around 11 something or maybe 10 something, maybe as low as 8 or 9. But then we did get up to 15. We got above 14 for a significant period of time. So there was plenty of opportunity if you'd held to sell above 14. So that's what we've got on OCGN at least. But interesting stuff. Interesting. Okay, so we are doing pretty good likewise, guys. I will not beg for any more likes right now. I won't beg for any more. But DWAC, unfortunately, is moving down a little bit, down 1.3%. Tesla still remaining kind of stagnant, though we have dipped below 1230. We have dipped below a little bit. Now, at one point, Tesla was buying Bitcoin, and I think they ended up holding on to their Bitcoin. So I will find this because I am curious what they've ended up doing recently. But at one point, the story was that Tesla was buying Bitcoin and that they were accepting Bitcoins for Tesla. And then they stopped accepting Bitcoin for Tesla. However, they held on to the Bitcoin that they got. They bought a bunch of Bitcoin. And this story, October 14th, Tesla's Bitcoin investment is already up by $1 billion. So that's good stuff. Tesla and Bitcoin. Over the last year, Tesla has been helping dive deep into the cryptocurrency world. Earlier this year, Tesla invested $1.5 billion in Bitcoin shortly after the automaker started accepting the cryptocurrency as payment on new vehicles. Later, CEO Elon Musk even talked about the potential of Tesla starting to accept Dogecoin as payment for its vehicles. Now, the reason they stopped accepting Bitcoin, I think it's about to discuss it here, is because it's not environmentally friendly, right? They use a lot of fossil fuels to mine Bitcoin, which you can see in this. I think it's a quote. Tesla suspended the vehicle purchases using Bitcoin. We are concerned about rapidly increasing use of fossil fuels for Bitcoin mining and transactions, especially coal, which has the worst emission of any fuels. So they stopped accepting it for the cars. We'll see. Maybe they'll accept it in the future if Bitcoin gets a little bit more green. But you know, their Bitcoin investment has paid off. If you look, they bought it. I forget when exactly, but it was not at the all-time highs, right? It was probably around in the 30,000s that they bought this thing way back when. So let's see if that article actually said when they bought it. No, I don't think it does. But regardless, they have made about $1 billion just off of investing in Bitcoin. So impressive stuff. Impressive stuff that Tesla's done. Now, Tesla definitely could be doing good in the future, but you know, I am starting to get wary of it. Right? It's getting very, very expensive to buy into Tesla stock. I'm just not sure how many more people are really going to be looking to do that. It's already gotten, well above its all-time highs. And once again, you know, at the beginning of the stream, we looked at that chart showing that their market cap was higher than the market cap of all the energy companies in the S&P. So it's a little worrying to see Tesla at this high of a valuation. I'm still holding it, but it is a little worrying. Now, I do want to create a poll asking what you guys are most bullish on. Well, we've done that a couple of times. Let's see. What else could we? What's another good poll question? We could do the most bullish. We do have OCGN now. We haven't talked about OCGN. Buy and sell, perhaps. Buy and sell. Are you talking about for a poll, or are you talking about why people would buy Tesla to buy and sell it? I'm not sure. Okay. Well, the poll, unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to. Let's see. What could we do? What would be a good poll question? Tesla, buy and sell. Yeah, Tesla. That's what I was thinking. So I guess we'll stick with what are you most bullish on, and off camera I'll come up with some questions to ask in the polls later in future streams. So what are We'll add a couple options like Tesla, DWAC, SHIB, even though that one's falling. And what would be a good one? OCGN. We'll see how many people are into that one. So, Red Art Ben, hi. What do you think about BGFV? We'll take a look at BGFV. Big Five Sporting Goods Core. So, over the past year, they've been doing incredibly well, right? They started at 650. They've been getting decent earnings. Looks like they just beat earnings just barely, right? But that did actually send them on a massive movement upwards, up 22% today alone. So that's looking good. But let's see what the news is. So it looks like they just had a good earnings call, and that's what's getting them going right now. But they also declared a special dividend of $1 per share. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. So let's see what this stock is all about. BGFV. Big Five Sporting Goods. That's a good industry to be in, sporting goods. We'll pull it up on Market Watch. So they operate as a holding company. The firm engages in the retail of sporting goods. Its products include athletic shoes, apparel, and accessories, as well as outdoor and athletic equipment for team sports, fitness, camping, hunting, fishing, tennis, golf, winter and summer recreation, and roller sports. So good stuff. So that's a decent business model. There's probably a big market for that. And let's see what their market cap is on Yahoo Finance. Let's see how much the company's worth. BGFB. Big Five Sporting Goods. So $863 million market cap. Not the largest market cap. So there's definitely room to grow. But that's after this massive pump up. I'm not sure if I'd be getting in on this big spike. This looks like the kind of thing that could come down and not fall too much, right? Because obviously the company's doing incredibly well. But it looks like the kind of thing where the company might pull back a little bit. Obviously, they have been actually offering a ton of dividends, right? They've done special dividends very frequently. The last earnings call that they announced that special dividend on, they pumped up huge, and they didn't fall for a while, but eventually, after a couple of months it took, they started moving down a little bit. So they will potentially be doing decently for the next couple of days and weeks, maybe if you want to take a trade on them. But if they follow the pattern that they have in the past after the special dividend comes out, it looks like they continue rising for a bit, and then they start to fall and fade away. Their last earnings call helped to stabilize them. And then this earnings call is doing the same thing as the one that two prior did. So they might continue to rise for a little, but at some point there's likely to be a pullback in price, which could be a good entrance point if you're looking at it for the long term. Though, I will say over the past 2 years, they've been doing incredibly well. So good for them. Really good for them, actually. Over the past 2 years, they were at one point trading in the negatives. Not quite sure why they were doing that, but who knows? So, buy the dip on OCGN or wait, says Mickey Blue. Well, regarding OCGN, it's going to be tough to say when to buy in, right? Obviously, you don't want to catch a falling knife. If you're looking at this over the past couple of days, we've just been sinking and sinking. You want to see a decent-sized reversal in momentum, I think, before you get in. At which point you may be too late depending on how long you wait. But you definitely don't want to catch a falling knife unless you're really confident in your ability to pick the bottom. And I'm not sure. I tend to not try to pick the bottom unless I have a really good support level mapped out. And OCGN, I'm just not sure if there is one. I mean, maybe $10 you could say is a strong psychological level. And, it looks like in the past we were bouncing off of it as resistance. So maybe you could say buy in at 10 and then sell out at 950 if we keep dropping. And that's your stop loss right there. But try to hope that it bounces off of 10 as support. So maybe $10. But other than that, I think a better strategy tends to be waiting until you see a reversal in the momentum and getting in. So I'm not buying it. But any news on DWAC lawsuit? Not that I've heard, but let me look it up real quick. Okay. Let's see. Nothing that I'm seeing right now. Nothing too recently, right? Doesn't look like any lawsuits have been filed. I think that's going to take a while, right? I think that Trump has 30 days to respond to the Mastodon owner, and there's probably, I think, 22 or 21 days left for him to do that. So shouldn't be anything until then. And it's not even a guarantee that there will be a lawsuit after that, right? The Mastodon owner then has to decide to sue, which likely we probably will. Maro Stefano, Rob, SHIB at 50 now. Is it buying time? Let's take a look at SHIB. I'm not too sure about SHIB, right? I'm holding my SHIB, but SHIB, the fact that it's down 20%, it might be selling time for SHIB. The fact that it's dropping this much. I mean, I think people are getting very fearful. This could be the rug pull. The market cap is down to 27 billion. I'm not sure if it's buying time. It might be. Maybe, if you think you can catch this bottom, but like I said, same situation with OCGN. I'd rather wait until the momentum becomes positive again to buy it if that's what I was going to do. I think that we all knew SHIB probably at some point had to take a bit of a tumble. People were hoping that the Robinhood listing, if there was going to be one, would pump us up even more. But the chances of us getting to a penny per SHIB seemed somewhat slim, unfortunately. It seemed somewhat slim. I'm not too sure that was in the cards for us, just because the market cap is already 27 billion, and it would have to be larger market cap than Bitcoin if we were going to get up to a penny per SHIB. But you know, SHIB's been doing decently over the past while. I'm not worried about my cost basis in it. I bought it super cheap around here, so I'm not worried about it. I don't think that we're going to, or maybe I didn't buy it around there. Maybe I bought it around here. Somewhere. I bought it somewhere long before where we are now. Let's see, what's my SHIB position at right now? It's not a significant position at all, right? I've already sold most of my SHIB for cheaper than what it is now, unfortunately, but the very small SHIB position. But up 436% on it. If anyone's interested, we'll pull this up. Let's pull up the cam too. So yeah, up 436 or 465%, $113. I sold most of my SHIB already, so it's not the largest position at this point, but that's what we got on SHIB. I'm not too worried about it falling. I'm just going to hold it. It's just that kind of a thing where you hold it in case they burn a ton of tokens, and maybe it could go up to a penny, and then that'll turn into, I think, $200,000 or $20,000 or something like that. So nuisance lawsuit, Kitchener Leslie says, yep. And Prog seems to have more potential beyond COVID. Yeah, I think, it's a lot of short squeeze potential for Prog. And why Sava going to $100? So let's look at Sava. Jeez, yeah, this one's taken off. I've not looked at Sava. So Sava Sciences shares resume trading, continue higher, up 56%, halted on the second circuit breaker. Okay, so what happened? Shows no evidence of data manipulation. So it looks like there may have been a lawsuit going on, or something going on, a class action lawsuit. So it looks like someone was suing Cassava Sciences potentially, or at least investigating them because of an Alzheimer's drug that data may have been manipulated for, and then it looks like a report just came out that there was no evidence of data manipulation in their technical papers. So that's obviously a good thing. I'm not sure if it's justifiable to double the stock price over it, but you know what? Actually, they were trading much higher, and likely around here when they dipped from over 100 down to lows of $40. That's likely when that story about potential manipulation came out, but it turns out it wasn't true. So the stock is moving back up to where it was before. That makes sense. All right. So up 76% on the day, just hit 100 and bounced off. So that's most likely why. So Charlin Coseglia, I just chimed in. I'm very new to this, but I'm bullish on OCGN. Why is there so much volume and decrease in price? So OCGN, the reason that there's so much volume is because some news came out for them yesterday. The World Health Organization just approved emergency listing authorization for their Covaxin COVID-19 vaccine, which is good news for the company, right? They should, if you think about it, be moving up on that news because it is a positive development. However, if you look back at the past, we'll look back at the past 30 days or even 90 days, a lot of people were buying into OCGN at much cheaper prices, and above $16, you can see there's a lot of resistance at 16, this line right here. So the past couple of times that we've tried getting to $16, we've been bounced off pretty harshly. And the same thing happened this time. So 16 was just acting as a fierce resistance for us. And then that's why we were bouncing down initially, right? Because over $16, people were looking to take profits. And after the bounce, people saw the patterns and continued selling off. So OCGN is basically just selling off of bad technicals. But it was good news. That's why you saw a huge increase in volume. That's why it was spiking. And unfortunately, a lot of people did get caught up in this. But a lot of people had their cost bases much lower than where it is now, even below $10. A lot of people were buying up OCGN shares at these cheaper prices below 10. So they're still making money. And that's why they're still willing to sell, I think. But Soul Grind 1, IDK if you covered it, but what's up with FATBB? I've not covered it. FATBB. Fat Brands Inc. So up 56% on the day. It looks like they dropped a ton yesterday after rising, right? They were yesterday at 7. So let's see what the news is on this. Let's see. Halted on circuit breakers. All right. Let's see what happened with them. Let's pull up the past 5 days. So it looks like they just got listed on TD Ameritrade at the very least. But let's see. They just what happened with them? So they announced their financial results. They acquired Fazoli's restaurant chain for $130 million, and addition of Fazoli's to increase company's post-COVID-19 normalization. All right. So it looks like a good earnings call and an acquisition that they made. I'm not sure if that quite justifies it, but FATBB, it's that's interesting. So Fat Brands, $530 million market cap, so it's relatively, and that's at this price. So back when it was at 7, it was probably $170 million market cap, $180 million. So relatively low. And we'll pull up this article right here. Fat Brands Inc. to acquire Fazoli's restaurant chain for $130 million. So announced today that it has agreed to acquire Fazoli's, an Italian chain known for its freshly prepared pasta, submarino sandwiches, and unlimited signature breadsticks for $130 million. All right, and the planned acquisition speaks to Fat Brands' recent diversification of the restaurant portfolio, making a foray into the Italian quick service dining category. So good stuff. Good stuff. I guess some people are very bullish on that news, and that's pumping up the price. But that's the news that we got for it. Okay. So, Kitchener Leslie, Prog is a pharmaceutical technology, whereas OCGN is just a single pharmaceutical. Yep. Prog, yeah, they did get some interesting patents for their digestible therapeutic technology. So just a couple weeks ago they got that. So it could be a good fundamental play over the long term. And Boaz NG, OCGN major shareholder, was selling it big. That's why. Thank you, Solgrain. It says on its fourth halt of the day. Yeah, you can actually see the halts on this chart right here. Yeah, it has been halted a lot. It started at 9:30 and then a 10-minute halt to 9:40, 5-minute halt to 9:45, 5-minute halt to 9:50, 10-minute halt to 10, 5-minute halt, another 5-minute halt, another 5-minute halt. It's on. It's right. Every single bar has been halted. Or sorry, actually, hold on. Jeez, I was on the 5-minute chart again, but we have seen a lot of halts. So we traded for the first 3 minutes, then halted. Yeah, okay. So we have seen quite a few halts. Not every bar, but quite a few bars on FATBB, and it looks like maybe that'll kill us off. We'll see. We're on a halt right now. The last time we traded was 10:16, so I've been on a halt for about 2 minutes. That's not ideal, but that's how it goes. Sometimes they have a great gabagool, says Kitchen. Yeah, I bet they do. I bet they have a great gabagool. And Adil Khan says, when I was brand new 2 months ago, I lost some money on SPRT. Yeah, SPRT. We don't even have the ticker, actually. We have to look at GREE. Yep, that is a horrific story, right? Horrific story what happened to GREE. Though, it looks like we covered this a little bit in one of the live streams when we started seeing it bounce. But it looks like this resistance line that we had drawn from a while ago, it was actually acting as support at one point, and then we used it again as resistance. So it looks like that $28 level is tough to break. 28.77, 29 kind of where we got it, but funny to see it acting now, even though it's about a month and a half later. That's where it stopped us out. So yeah, GREE, that was a rough one, and SPRT as well. The merger was horrific for a lot of people I know. So AMD, says Melanie Normand. Yeah, AMD. I love AMD. And one of my first holdings, I think the first stock that I bought actually was AMD stock ever. And when I turned 18, my 18th birthday, my mom got me a gift card to some. It was a weird brokerage. It was the kind of brokerage that you could buy a gift card to. But she gave me a $25 gift card because she knew I was interested in stocks, and I bought AMD with it. So I don't know if they still do that kind of thing, if they still let you buy gift cards for brokerage accounts, but it was a cool gift and set me on my path to investing. So yeah, we're up 2.72% on the day with AMD. You know, and I wish I had held my AMD shares. I sold them for a decent profit, but I remember when they were around like $10 per share. So wish I'd hold them. That would have been a great gain. But let's see. AMD Radeon. All right. So looks like their new processors and GPUs are very powerful, and looks like people are either reviewing them or they potentially just came out with some new ones. So November 4th, announced AMD Radeon built with the latest. Okay, so they just announced some new graphics cards and processors and are moving up off of that. That's good stuff. That's good stuff for AMD. It's a popular one. It's at all-time highs right now, I believe. Yeah, all-time highs today. Wish I was still holding some. I do occasionally sell put contracts on it, right? I sell put contracts and just collect the premium. And if those ever happen to execute, I'd be happy to hold the stock. I don't think I have any sold right now, unfortunately. Too bad. Too bad. But gold is actually doing decently. And one more thing, which we can pull up, the market map. We can pull up the market map. It looks like we're seeing a decent amount of green in tech. However, the financial sector suffering down across the board. All the financial sector is suffering, it looks like. Banks, insurance isn't doing great. Capital markets aren't doing good. Credit cards are okay. But banks are bad. Microsoft pretty stagnant. Apple up 0.24%. Amazon up 1.7%. Facebook, Google, Tesla, all green right there. NVIDIA up 6.84%. Interesting, beating even AMD. So all of the graphics cards producers are doing good. Okay, and actually, NVIDIA's up big because Wells Fargo just lifted their price target to $320 from $245. That's awesome. So right now, NVIDIA is at $282, and it's crazy to see just how much. You know, we're up 6% on the day. It's crazy to see how much just a firm raising their price target can do to raise a stock price. It's pretty crazy. So, Prabesh Ramdan, what do you think of METX? Well, we've looked at METX in the past, I believe, but we'll look at it one more time. Metin Holding Group, Ltd. So, they have been doing well over the past 90 days. Over the past year, not so much. This could be the reversal that we're waiting for. Let's see what happens on the earnings call, though. Let's pull up METX and see what they're all about. It's been a while. I don't remember all these stocks, but we've looked at METX in the past. I recognize the ticker. Metin Holdings. So $67 million market cap, not the largest. Could be bigger, but I like those small market cap stocks. That means you have a lot of potential gains when they start going up, right? They could easily 10x and become a $600 million market cap stock if they get the right catalyst. So I love those. Big gain potential. But they offer online English language training and other English language related services to students from a wide range of age groups. It operates through the following segments: general adult English training, overseas training, blah, blah, blah. So they're helping with translation and English learning skills. So that is a promising area. My cousin was actually thinking of starting up a business in that area. So I know it is promising. He's looked into it a lot. But it does seem like the kind of thing that there's a relatively small market for, that people are willing to pay a lot for, because you can just learn English, right? If you come to the country, you can just learn English going around and being in school and whatnot. If you're a foreign exchange student, you can learn that way. So there are a lot of resources that people have already to learn other languages. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube if you're interested in learning other languages. So it's tough to say with Metin Holding. You know, they've been doing well recently. They've obviously been valued at a much higher valuation in the past, and this company, it looks like, has been bleeding out money, probably diluting, pushing them down. So it's a potentially promising play. You could make some good money on it, but we'll see. We'll see. So Alan Komaski, SafeMoon will be huge. Don't miss out. When they get listed on a major exchange, it will pass SHIB and Doge. Maybe, ShibMoon did sound interesting, but Not too interested in SHIB or SafeMoon at the moment. I considered buying it at one point, but it's tough to make those brokerage accounts that can trade the cryptos that aren't trading on the major exchanges. So Kitchen Leslie, Wells Fargo was shady. They had to pay on a class action lawsuit. Yeah, I heard about that. They're making accounts in customers' names without telling them and charging them fees for it. So yeah, they definitely are a little shady, but it hasn't stopped them from raising their price target on Nvidia and having that impact the stock price decently. So Ali says, or Ally, hello friend, need your thoughts on AIKI, please, and thank you. All right, we'll take a look at AIKI. All right, so let's see. AIKI, Aikido Pharma. We've looked at this one before. We'll pull it up again. AIKI. So 87 cents. All right, we already knew that. Aikido Pharma is a biotechnology development company which engages in the provision of diversified portfolio in small molecule anti-cancer and antiviral therapeutics in development. Its oncology therapeutics include treatments for pancreatic cancer, acute myeloid leukemia, and other type of leukemia. It also creates broad spectrum antiviral platform in which the lead compounds have activity against multiple viruses. Okay. So a promising company. Seems like they're making some good products at the very least, right? They're up big over the past year, though they're much higher likely when the hype for this stock was at its peak. I'm guessing the market cap is relatively low on this one. Yep. $79 million market cap, relatively low market cap. So great thing to get in on. You're definitely getting in early. And if they do actually come out with any good treatments, then it could 10x easy. From 70 cents to, or from $79 million to still under $1 billion market cap, about an 800 million. You could definitely get in on this relatively early. But like with all those pharma companies, it's impossible to say which ones are going to be the ones that end up succeeding and actually having good products. So it's tough to say. It's just that's what it really depends on. The ones that succeed and make good products in the end are the ones that are going to be doing well. And it's tough to say if this is going to be that, or if it's going to, have an FDA rejection, or if their studies are going to come back as, a failure to deliver, right? Like their studies, their drugs don't actually do anything. It's going to be tough to say. And I don't know enough about medicine to really dive deep into these companies and look at their research and figure out which ones have the best chance. So it's like gambling, but if you do it smart and you look for the small market cap ones that aren't already hyped up, that could likely be hyped up in the future, you can make some money off of them. So Steven Seagal has a pharma company. I'm not sure. But Joseph Agnello says, are you in Sava? Fun's tough. I'm not in Sava, but we looked at Sava today. We did. Sava Sciences, it was up at $100 earlier. Up at 100. So we'll see what happens with it. I know it was a popular one, but it turns out, we covered the news on it. The report came out that they weren't manipulating data in their technical papers. So that's good stuff for Sava. And DDWD, can you look at GOTU, please? We will look at GOTU. All right, so it's remained stagnant over the past couple of days, and looks like not much news has come out for it. But we've just been tanking over the past year. It looks like dilution has been causing this stock to just get beaten down and down. And we've almost certainly had to do some reverse stock. Well, maybe not reverse stock splits. We'll see. Maybe not yet. Maybe they really were trading at $149 per share. Yeah, that's unfortunate what happened to them. But let's take a look and see what happened. Go to TechEdu. All right, so GOTU is a technology-driven education company. Its core expertise is online K-12 courses and online. Okay, I see. So they probably got really hyped up during COVID and then fell a ton around March 25th and 26th. So let's see what happened back then. Can't go back far enough. All right. We don't have the news for that, but yeah, I mean, I think, unfortunately, after the lockdowns and whatnot, people are kind of sick of online learning. I think a lot of people probably be looking to get back in person, and I don't know if people are interested in doing all that online, which is what GOTU specializes in. So it also offers foreign language, professional, and interest courses. I mean, it's not the largest. Let's see what the market cap is. Let's see, where did the market cap go in the overview? So yeah, not the largest market cap, $758 million market cap. It's fairly big. It must have meant it was a lot larger back when it was at $149. But I'm not sure about it. It's the kind of thing, like, it's just dropped so much. Their earnings haven't been good. I'd wait on it. I'd wait. I mean, you could potentially be buying now and catching this dip. Maybe it will rise once again to its previous highs, but that's a tough one for me. I think that when a stock falls this much, there's typically a reason for it, right? It doesn't seem like shorts just pushing it down. This is far too low. We can look at it, though. We'll look at it on Ortex GOTU. It wouldn't surprise me if it was heavily shorted, but only because it's down so much. So yeah, a fairly large short interest, actually. 27% of the free float is shorted, 34 million shares. So people are shorting this, but we could see maybe a little squeeze if people bought into it in a big way. But ever since it dipped down from 10 all the way to 388 on 723, let's see if we can't find any news for that. No, the news doesn't quite go back far enough, but I don't know about it. GOTU, that's a questionable one. I'm not too sure. Now let's look at the poll real quick. We got 54 votes in the poll. Most of the people are bullish on DWAC and Tesla. Not too many on SHIB, but more on OCGN than SHIB. So that's interesting. And all right, there we go. We got the poll. If you talk about pharma company, look at INFI. We will CR says, here go the shorts on PHUN again. Yeah, on PHUN and DWAC. They're both getting pushed down. Not big time, but PHUN is down about 4%, DWAC down about 2%. So it's not looking great for them, unfortunately. All right. Man, I'm yawning a lot today. I have unfortunately been getting a little bit less sleep over the past couple days than usual, so that's unfortunate, but we'll work through the yawns. So OX Ben J, if you're talking about pharma, look at INFI. So yeah, we'll look at INFI. I think it's INFI, right? Infi. Okay. Infinity Pharmaceuticals. So let's see. Over the past 30 days, they've been dropping. Over the past year, they've been doing well, right? Up from $1 to $2.60. So their earnings just came out. Beating expectations, but still negative. But they are moving up a little bit on that. It looks like they're down today. So let's see. INFI. What have we got? Infinity Pharmaceuticals. What is going on? They operate as a biopharmaceutical company which engages in discovering, developing, and delivering medicines for people with cancer. It focuses on drug development. Okay, so another cancer treatment company. Yeah. This could be good. It looks like we might be bouncing off of the 250, actually, which has acted as support for us in the past. So 250, yeah, this could be a good little play for the next while. If we could bounce back up maybe to 3, that could be a pretty safe play, going from 264 with a stop loss at 250, trying to take it to 3. That could be a good play. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I'm not sure what research they're doing. Like I said, I'm not well versed enough in medical knowledge to actually get in to the weeds with these pharmaceutical stocks and figure out which treatments are the most likely to succeed, unfortunately. And Kitchener Leslie says, that's why I like Prog. It's like a universal tool rather than a screwdriver. Yeah. With those digestible therapeutics, they're doing pretty good with those patents. So Travis Brousseau, KOMOF, seems like they have good news around them. Significant growth and 67% increased sales in October. It's a plant-based food. Interesting. So KOMF or KOMOF. Como Plant-Based Food Inc. Yeah, they're up at 18 cents, up from 2 cents per share. So this is promising. Let's see. So they engage in the development, production, and distribution of plant-based frozen meals. It operates through the following segments: personal care, product sales, service provider to cannabis dispensary licensee. Okay. And plant-based foods manufacturing and distribution. Interesting. So they're involved in the cannabis industry somehow. $15 million market cap. Very low price, but it's an over-the-counter stock. So while we could trade it here, I believe, we couldn't get it on Robinhood, so it's not available on all the brokers. But yeah, that could be good. That could be good for KOMOF. That is interesting. I might have to add this to a watch list. I'll just add it right here real quick and just keep it there. Because that's a promising one. 18 cents per share, $15 million market cap, involved in cannabis and frozen plant-based foods. That seems like something that has potential. So I will take a peek at that later. Lows have been 2 cents though, so there is massive downside risk, and we are closer to the peaks, right, than the pits. So we'll see. Prog seems good today. Says, yeah, we were looking at Prog. Let's take a look. Let's take a look now. We're at 350, up above 350. That's awesome. Doing really good with Prog, up 15%. Incredible stuff. Prog is doing really well. That's what we're excited for, right? We wanted Prog to move up above 350 today, and it did it. Next stop is $4. Now we're on our way to 4. So hopefully we don't bounce below 350. We're hoping to get to 4 today. That's the hope, at least, right? Not necessarily saying we can do that, right? We're already up 16%. Maybe tomorrow is when we'll try and hit 4 up. So Joseph Ignello, lol, and CR Rob's favorite saying, that's unfortunate. Yeah, yeah, I do say that a lot. So Rocky Mountain Gobblers, PHUN 11/4/21 conference schedule bump stock. Maybe it could. We'll take a look at PHUN. So we've been dipping. We're down about 4%, but let's see. So the earnings call is happening on the 11th, but there's a conference schedule for the 4th. It seems like you're saying maybe that could bump it. That could bump it, but I think typically it tends to follow DWAC more closely than its own news, right? Because if you look at the news, a while ago we had news that they were accepting Bitcoin for their light personal computers, and that succeeded in pumping the stock for all but 2 minutes before it started moving down. So we'll see what happens. But OCGN is suffering a bit, down 18%. Unfortunately, Prog, that will move this up to the main chart right here, is doing pretty good. So Kitchener Leslie, what isn't a plant-based food? Yeah, that's true. I guess meat might be, but I guess the animals are eating meat, so everything comes from plants in the end. So yeah, Prog is doing good. Up above 350, and I will be right back. We're gonna do a quick bathroom break, guys. I'll be right back. Get some more water. Be right back. So if you can, hit the like button while I'm gone, and let's see how high we can get it. We're at 80 likes right now. Let's see if we can't bump this thing up to maybe 100 likes before I get back. We'll see if we can do it. Probably not, but we'll see. All right, and we are back. And we did get 8 more likes, so much appreciated. Thank you guys, everyone who liked it while I was gone. Now, which came first, the grass or the delicious plant-based cow? That's how I feel about it. You know, I like eating meat. I think it's good for you. A lot of people would disagree, but I think that meat actually has a lot of nutrients, and oftentimes, you know, if you're doing a vegetarian diet, you have to take some supplements just because you're not getting the vitamins you need. Which, you know, we evolved eating meat, so. I'm definitely a meat eater myself, but anyone who doesn't want to, I understand that, and I know that some people seem to find some health benefits with it, so that's understandable. But I feel healthier myself, at least, when I do eat meat, but that's just my opinion. So, abracadabs. Looking at BKKT, we'll take a look at BKKT. We're doing these up 3% on the day. Okay, so what happened with this one? So let's find a better time frame than that. 30 days, just about. Yep. So like we said, when we were watching BKKT in the past, we said if we could break past 31, we'd likely be on the next leg up. And we did break 31. We did pretty good. We got all the way up to highs of $50. So highest we got intraday actually ever that we were trading at intraday. The previous high was 36 intraday. Of course, in the after hours and pre-market, we were up at 60 at one point, but we certainly moved up quite a bit on breaking 31. Now, it looks like we have since subsided slightly. Now we're down at 36 again, finding a little bit of support where we ended up opening and tanking the day that we were up at 60 in the pre-market. So we'll see what happens with BKKT. It's an interesting one. Jim Cramer says Mimecast is in the right spot, prefers this stock over Heartland. I might be talking about BKKT. And he doesn't want to... Okay, so this article isn't really about Jim Cramer and BKKT. It's just saying that he doesn't want to comment on it. So let's see. So nope, it looks like they're still just up on the news about their partnership with MasterCard. All right, so they're doing decently, though. Acorn sucks meat lovers. Boogeyman says cow. Vegans are crazy because they lack B12, says Kitchener Leslie. In Florida, we eat gators. I take it we're not invited to their house. Yeah. Oh yeah, I don't think I've tried gator, but I would like to. I've seen it at some fairs they've had gator on a stick and all of that. I haven't tried it yet though. It looks interesting. I would like to try it. ILUS, says Marco Sal. ILUS up 10% on the day. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff for ILUS. Let's pull up the market cap for ILUS. So let's see their profile. An investment company which focuses on acquiring businesses in the technology, engineering, and manufacturing sector. ILUS. Interesting. Okay, so they're doing pretty good then. They're doing pretty good. Hey Rob, go Prog. Lol, says Noble H. Noble's back with us again. And yeah, Prog has been killing it today, up 16%, bringing a lot of people's portfolios back in the money. Unless people are buying up around here above this 350 level over the past week or so, then pretty much everyone's up. If you look over the past, we'll look at the past 90 days, pretty much everybody's up at this point, right? There are very few people who were buying in here for the first time, is my understanding, and pretty much everyone who's been on this prog run for the past couple of months is in the green, except the shorts, right? The shorts aren't happy about this. Let's see what the shorts are doing with prog stock. It looks like they're probably... Well, let's see. They're still trying, man. They're still trying. They're up 1.71% on the day, bringing us to a short interest of 38.58%. So the shorts are definitely trying to keep prog stock down, and they're really panicking. It seems like, right? They know that this thing can explode, especially if we get over $4. We're looking at the options, and we've now got 32,000 open interest call options at the 350. So that's much more than we were looking at. We used to be looking at this days ago, and it was 25,000. So we've added another 7,700 open interest call options over the past couple of days to the 350. Those are now in the money, and we're just getting closer to November 19th. So the shorts and the sellers of these call options will likely have to start covering at least the call options sometime soon. The shorts might be able to hold on a little bit longer. Prog was at 160, was 162 a resistance? 162 is very low for Prog. Maybe you mean 362? Let me look. Maybe 162. Yeah, I don't see 162 around here, but 362 most likely. So let's look at the 10-day 62. So it looks like we've seen a little bit, yeah, of support right at 360. Maybe you could say 362. I tend to just round it to the nearest whole digit, right? The nearest 10-cent increment. You could say 362. It looks like we were using it a bit a couple of days ago, but let's see where we got. We got to 372 today, and we're sitting around 365. So typo, sorry. Okay. So are you talking about 362 then, Noble? And what is OCGN next support level? We'll look at that in a second, Capitalist Kid. Can you please check the Ortex for PHUN? Yeah, we'll look at the Ortex for PHUN while Noble is typing. So yeah, tell me, did you mean 362? I'm pretty sure you did. But in the meantime, we're looking at PHUN. It looks like shorts are covering today, down 21.33% short interest-wise. Still not the highest short interest as a percentage of the free float, only about 3.39%. But still, 21% down. So shorts are covering. Looks like about 2 million shares might have been returned. So yes, 362. Yeah, 362 might more. Yeah, I guess 362 might. It might, but we are actually past that. Not the strongest, right? It's not the strongest resistance. If you look at the past, we'll go back 10 days. It is decent though. I would say myself, if I were going to map it out, I would say 360, but you could say 362. Just looking at that line right there, we could draw it even. Let's see when we first started acting on it. So around here, it looks like is when we first started using potentially 360, or like you said, 362 as resistance. So got to get rid of that. There we go. So yeah, 362 might be, but we did just get past that. So looks like not too much trouble now actually using it as a little support. So yeah, there's a bunch of levels like that, and I only take into account some of the main ones. But if you're a scalper and you really want to make quick but risky money, you can definitely try scalping off of these. I mean, there are support and resistance levels all over the place that the algorithms identify, and they have a much sharper eye than us. They're able to look at a lot more data than we are, and they're pretty profitable to my understanding, but the algorithms can make quite a bit. A guy from StockTwits posted a screenshot from TradingView that support resistance levels. Interesting on StockTwits. Let me pull up StockTwits. We've got it. I doubt I'll be able to find exactly that post, but I am curious what they're talking about on StockTwits with Prog. I have to keep it on the other screen, though. Sometimes they have kind of rowdy images on StockTwits. So let's see if we can't control F 3.62. Maybe it was a while ago that they said that, but okay, let's see. Here we go. Now we're at something. Yeah, Prog back to the 3.62 wall. Break it. 5 minutes ago, AI Research Associates said. Okay, if we turn. Okay, yeah, I see. So yeah, 362 maybe. AI Research Associates sounds kind of like one of those services, though. Only 3 followers. So yeah. Maybe around 8 a.m. it was posted. Okay, yeah. So this was just 5 minutes ago. So it looks like maybe 362 is a little bit of a support that we've got, or a resistance. Well, maybe support now, right? Let's see what's going on. It looks like we did break down below 360. You could say 362, but really, I mean, 360 might work just as well. Not much seems to change if you move the lineup like that. So I will keep it at 360 just for now. For my OCD mind, I'd rather it be at an even increment of 10 cents. So let's see. We've got 69 viewers. Let's try to keep it there. And Jason Holzberg says, more DWAC, Rob, your daily analysis is the best. I appreciate that. Now, with DWAC, we were looking good, actually. Earlier in the day, we saw the first couple of bars were really bullish. I was excited the first couple of bars that we were getting because it looked like we were pumping up. Then we started fading away. Unfortunately, we've just been dipping, kind of stepping down incrementally throughout the course of the day over the past hour or so. Started using 62.25 as resistance, whereas it was support earlier, unfortunately. So we're moving down a little bit with DWAC, down 2%. Not too worried about it, though. We're really just waiting for some news to come out. The last news that we got was, none of this is really news, even though it says it was posted on this date. It's not really anything of note. It's not notable news. It's just saying, it's old articles being recycled, basically, and some call option alerts. But we will take a look at the call options on DWAC. We will take a look at those. Still not many call options trading for it, right? Still not many open interest calls. I think they're all still fairly expensive. People know that this stock is very volatile. Market makers know that, and they know that it really does have pump potential. They don't want to get caught with their pants down selling cheap options contracts that then increase massively in value. So they're wary of selling a lot of call options for cheap. So they price them fairly high. This thing has a big implied volatility, high implied volatility. If you look, we can check, 170%, 200%, and very high as you get out to the farther out prices. So, very high implied volatility, making the options expensive. Not many people are buying them, which isn't ideal, right? We would actually like to see a lot of options buying for DWAC, because that would mean that we could potentially gamma squeeze some people out of this thing. But it's looking like that's not the case right now. Maybe in a week or so, options will be a little cheaper. If we've stagnated, the implied volatility will move down, and we could then get some more options going. But really, we're just waiting for some news to come out. We're waiting for the next catalyst. This is what we got pumped up on news that this stock was merging with, that this SPAC was merging with Trump Media, and that got us pretty high. So we'll see what happens when Trump starts talking about it. That's what we're hoping for. So MTRT says Marco Sal. MTRT. The Metal Arts Co. Interesting. So over the past 30 days, they've been doing all right. And over the past year, they've been doing even better. They were trading at a fraction of a cent. So, yeah, you can definitely, you can get really lucky with these sometimes. You can get really lucky with those cheap ones. But let's pull up MTRT. I'm curious what the Metal Art Co. does. So let's see. Holding company that provides contract electroless nickel and aluminum anodizing services for metal fabricating companies. So a bunch of sciencey mumbo jumbo that I'm not going to understand is what I'm gleaning from that. One of my housemates would understand it. He's a chemical engineer, and he'd probably get into that sciencey stuff and be interested in it, but that's not going to help me. So let's see the market cap. So they're doing something sciencey, is what we've gleaned. And they've got a market cap of... Where is the market cap? Not available. Interesting. They don't have it. Let's see what it is on Yahoo Finance, MTRT. Market Watch, for some reason, just didn't have it listed. $27 million market cap for MTRT. So, not understanding what they do is going to be a bit of an inhibitor for me analyzing this stock, right? The fact that I don't know what exactly this company is. I don't know how big the potential market for it is. It sounds like, since it's so sciencey, probably fairly small, I would assume. Right? It seems like a pretty specialized process that they're specializing in. Contactless, electroless, nickel and aluminum anodizing services for metal fabricating companies. I don't know what the utility in that is, but it could be doing good in the future. It looks like they've already gained massive value off of potentially being one of the few companies that is specializing in this. So there's not likely to be a ton of competition in this industry, and they could be doing decently well in the future. But they've already got a $27 million market cap. That could definitely go up. There's a lot of metal producing companies in the U.S., less so than in China, but there's still a decent amount of metal production, and I think we could be doing decently with this stock. Maybe it's tough to say though, not completely understanding what it is that they do, what the benefit of those of their products are. So they could be doing good. I could see them getting higher than they are at a $27 million valuation. They obviously were up at $6 at one point. But $2 for a stock that was at one point trading less than a year ago for a fraction of a cent seems a little steep. We are falling a little bit. There's no news that we've got for it, so it's tough to say what's going on, why they pumped up. If TD Ameritrade doesn't have any news, let's see if we can find it. Yeah, nothing on Yahoo Finance from more recently than 8 months ago. That's the latest news they've got. So it is a very small company. Not too many people are reporting on it, but it could be an interesting one to trade if you can realize some technical patterns on it. But also very low volume. So this would actually be an interesting one because you or I, any one of us, if we all bought into this, we could probably pump it up a couple, maybe $1, maybe not $1. But if we all really threw in all the money we had, we could pump it up a little bit. It's such a low market cap that we could probably manipulate it if we wanted to. Let's not. That doesn't sound like a good idea. So the prog levels were posted by Fat Lazy Stupid 3, and he actually said that chart was from Bar Chart Premier. Okay, Bar Chart Premier. I think I've heard of that. Bar Chart Premier. Yep. Okay, so this looks like a service you can buy into. All right. I think I've heard of that. I think I've been tempted to buy it from one of the their pay screens. They get you with you search for something and bar chart and you click on it and then it says, well, you can just buy this for $29.99 or something like that. So EVAX, lot of movement shot. This movement shot. All right, okay. So Joseph Agnell, EVAX. Let's see. Evaxion Biotech. Yeah, this one's up. This one's up 140%, and it's not even at the highs. It's down $10 from the highs. So let's see what happened. What was the news? So, it doesn't look like there was any news other than a ton of volume. Could that be right? It happened near the end of yesterday, so we'd be looking for the third, but it doesn't look like any announcements were put out for the stock, and there was no earnings call. Earnings are coming up, though, on the 9th. So this one might just be a momentum play, right? People might have just piled into this. It was pushed up to $50 at one point. We might have just gotten some people FOMOing in, and maybe some whales pushing this thing up, right? We saw decent. It was a very low. Oh, I see. This is probably a very low market cap. It had extremely low volume. EVAX. So $124 million market cap now, though. So that's at their current price of $15. They were trading at $5. So about a $60 or $40 million market cap before. And then it looks like some whales probably got in. There was probably low liquidity, right? Just because the market cap is big doesn't mean the float is big. And yeah, then this thing just got pushed up. And people trying to trade it, make money. Ended up getting into. We ended up seeing big volume when market opened today. Almost 1 million shares traded. So a lot of shares trading hands with this company. A lot of people, anyone who was holding it a while ago is in the green right now. Pretty much anyone holding it ever, it looks like, over the past year. Anyone holding this stock is in the green. So that's an opportunity right there to sell if you're interested. So Zach Taylor, down after $90 upgrade from Wedbush. Yeah, I looked at that in the pre-market and I didn't see too much pre-market activity. You can see the pre-market was pretty stale. But you were right about that. We did see a big dip around the open, Zach, and have been moving down a little bit. So still up though, it looks like, from where we were yesterday. Yeah, we're still on a pretty strong uptrend. This could be the end of it. We'll see. But still, this company was impressive, Silvergate. Because if you look, a year ago they were at $22.50, and now they're at reaching highs of $220. So they've been doing pretty good over the past year. It's tough to lose money on a stock like this, unless you pick the top, right? If you get really unlucky and you buy in and you pick the top, then you lose money. But there's only one top, so you see little temporary tops right here, and it looks like it's actually trading. Maybe potentially with crypto. It's trading with crypto because I looked into them a little bit. It said they were involved in the digital currency space, which I believe means cryptocurrency. I didn't look into them too deeply. I tried to figure it out, but it was late at night. I wanted to go to bed. But it said they were involved with digital currencies. Now let's see if there's any news. So other than the price raise, it doesn't look like we're seeing too much. Yeah, I don't see anything mentioning Bitcoin, which, up. Here we go. UK financial regulator orders crypto exchange Binance to stop activities in the country. So the fact that that is being tied to Silvergate means that it might be involved in crypto, right? The fact that that headline is popping up there. So, well, it's also talking about crude oil prices, though. All right, well, interesting company, regardless. What do you think about SNII? Supposed to go into merger with quantum computer maker Rigetti, $1.5 billion deal. SNII, I'm guessing that's a SPAC. So is this a SPAC? Let's see. Yes, all right, it's a SPAC, and quantum computing company Rigetti. So quantum computing, that's definitely an area of the future that we are going to see a lot of growth in, right? Once those computers really start rolling and we start getting that exponential growth in their processing power, that's going to be huge. Although, who's to say which company is going to be the one that really makes the breakthrough and figures out how to do it? So there's a lot of risk, a lot of reward potentially with this stock. It could be good. It could be a loser though. So it's tough to say. I won't pretend to know enough about quantum computing to say which one is going to be the one that will rise. And I think that if you are interested in the quantum computing space, what you can do is you can buy a basket of a couple quantum computing stocks. This could be one of them. This one looks decent, right? It's a SPAC right now, but it's going to merge with Rigetti in the future. So this could be one of them, right? I mean, you could buy this. I think IBM might be working on quantum computing. I know the big tech companies are. So you could potentially do that if you're interested. And I haven't gotten into too many quantum computing companies that I know of, at least not specifically for the reason that they are quantum computing, but it could be a good company to get into. I don't know enough about the fundamentals of it, unfortunately. And after the merger, we'll have to see. Obviously, there'll be new data on it, a new ticker symbol, but we will look at Sbea as per Stephen Hume's request. So let's look at Sbea. So first of all, Stephen Hume says, any more updates on Sbea? Thoughts on adding some shares in the 10s? I think the 10s are a great place to add shares. Way better than where I was adding most of my shares, right? My average, I think, is like 12 something per $12 and something cents per share. So down a bit on my initial buys, right? But $10, I think, makes sense. This is where the SPAC was trading before. And I think that as more people hear about this and as more diehard fans of Black Rifle Coffee start buying up the stock, I think that will lower the available float. And I think that we could, maybe especially once we start seeing it trade under the new ticker symbol BKCC or BRCC, I think, Black Rifle Coffee Company, yep, BRCC, then we could start to see a lot of positive momentum for them, especially if they start getting ads on Joe Rogan. I think I've heard one of their ads on Joe Rogan's podcast before, but I do think that's a great place to advertise, especially if you're a brand like this. Who has had speakers on Joe Rogan, right? Evan Hafer and Matt Best, the CEO and vice president of the company, have both been on Joe Rogan on a podcast together. So it wouldn't surprise me if when they go public, they're on there again. It would not surprise me at all. And that would definitely drive some traffic to the site and potentially some investors to their stock. So Quantum has a way to go. They cost millions each and they aren't even that many on the planet. We still don't know how to use them and they could be real dangerous. Yeah. UFOs are real, I agree. That's what I'm saying, I don't know enough about it. You got to just, if you're interested in quantum and investing in them for the long term, then it's probably best to just buy a little basket of companies that are involved in it, and whichever one of those hits gold is going to 1,000x, 100x, whatever. The others will probably, fade away or get bought up. And yeah, we're going to have to see what happens with quantum computing. But FA says, yeah, quantum and nano batteries supposed to last lifetimes in development. Yeah, maybe. I think that we could see some big advancements in our lifetimes. I'm not too worried about that. I think that technology moves a little bit faster than people expect. I think the quantum computing, once we really start to get a hold of it, will go a lot faster than what people were thinking, right? Just like normal computers. It took a while to get them initially running. It took a couple decades, but once they did, and we've been working on quantum for a bit now at this point, so once they really start running, I think we're going to just keep getting those improvements over and over. So Travis Brusos read something about 18% of current shareholders of SBA will get BRCC shares. Don't understand that. Can you explain? So I don't know what that means, but let me see. 18% of SBA shareholders. Okay, so yeah, I see what this is. All right, here we can pull up the article right here. So let's find where it says that specifically. Current SBA shareholders will own 18% of the company after merger. Now, that's because the way they're going public is through a SPAC. So Black Rifle Coffee Company is a private company, and SBEA is a SPAC, basically a blank check company where people gave capital to this company with the intent that they buy up another company. Now, when they take a company public, they don't buy all of Black Rifle Coffee Company because the owners still want to own some. They're only selling some to the SPAC. So they're selling 18% of their company to the SPAC. So if you owned all of SBEA shares, if you bought every single share of SBEA, then you would own 18% of Black Rifle Coffee when it goes public. So that's what this is saying. That's why SBA shareholders will own 18% of the company. The rest will be owned by the executives, the founders, and all that. So they'll still retain, the majority of the shares. But SBA is a way to get in on some of the shares, and that's true of a lot of companies, right? Like when companies go public and IPO, they're not giving away every single share in existence. They're not selling every share. Like when Apple IPO'd, they didn't sell every share. Steve Jobs kept some for himself. Some of the other early adopters of Apple and investors probably kept some for themselves. They're just selling the available shares to collect money for the company. So Black Rifle will be giving out 18% of their company to SBEA. That's how you're getting in on Black Rifle. So hopefully that makes sense, Travis. Hopefully that makes sense. But that's my understanding of it, that we'll just be getting 18% of Black Rifle shares if you owned all of SBEA. So owning some of it, you'll have less than 18%, obviously. But Kitchener Leslie, BRC is dead. Read their Twitter for the last year. They alienated their base. Black Rifle Coffee. I've not read their Twitter. Magnus says AMC all day. Thanks. Makes sense since I was thinking it was the value of the shares or something. No. It's just when you look at the market caps of the companies, it's how much of the market cap SBEA shareholders will own regarding how many they'll own of Black Rifle Coffee, right? When it actually turns into BRCC. So there'll still, that'll be the float essentially, unless some of the shareholders start to sell their shares. So Prog is doing good though, getting back up above 360. Hopefully we can hold that. It is looking good for Prog though. Good stuff. And we've got 100 likes on the stream so far, 73 viewers. If we could bump it up a touch. I know that we have people streaming in and out, so there are actually a couple of analytics that I can look at here. Okay, yeah, so the playback's interesting. And I think I'll just keep it on concurrent viewers. But cool stuff. So, SBEA, yeah, bullish on this one over the long term. Who knows how many years it'll take for them to really become a massive coffee company. They're starting out fairly small. We saw in the investor presentation, they're only expecting to get 0.3 billion worth of revenue in 2021, but there's a lot of space in the coffee market for them. So I think that a lot of people could be interested. Can OCGN do anything today? Says Leeway. It could. We'll pull up OCGN. Pull it up right here in the. We'll put Prog down in the bottom left for now, and have OCGN in the top left. So it could do something, and maybe we'll see a bounce off of 10. It looks like we're bouncing off of 10 right now, but it's unfortunate that we have been dipping for about 2 days at this point, right? If we continue dipping the rest of the day of today, then it'll be 2 days. So it's not looking great. We're down at about 18%. It's not that it can't do anything. It's just seeming like it's unlikely, right? Just because there is a lot of negative momentum with them. So much volume pushing us down. So we're really going to have to either find a support. Maybe some news is going to have to come out about OCGN. Or we're just going to have to wait for this thing to play out. It could take a couple of days. It could end today, though. There's really no telling when OCGN will bottom and flatline, and then we can start looking to move back up. But $10 could be that level. It could be. It's not impossible. It looks like we're on a green bar right now, the first bar that we've had all day, the first hour bar. And over the past 30 minutes, it's the first green bar 30 minutes all day as well since open. So hopefully we'll do something good. But who knows? Who knows? Okay, guys, and 11:11. It's getting to be about time. It's getting to be about time that we end this stream. I am going to be trying to end these a little bit earlier than 12 because typically we run them pretty late. So we've got the face cam going. I'm not sure when that started. Hopefully it hasn't been on the whole time and you've been able to see the screen. But other than that, guys, we're ending the stream around 11 starting today, I guess. We actually did that yesterday, but we'll start ending them around 11 because that will give me some more time to get some work done. And 2 hours, I think, is plenty of time. The one last question from Zach. Any thoughts on if/when gold and silver will come back to reality? I hope it's soon, man. I hope it's soon. I'm holding a lot of gold and silver stocks, so hopefully soon. It could be that we're at an inflection point right now. Now that the Fed has started tapering, finally, they at least say they're going to be reducing the amount of money that they're flooding into the market. That might be a sign. People might think that maybe inflation is a more serious problem than the Fed was letting on. So that's the last topic to discuss today. That's all I got to say. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for joining us in the live streams. It's always appreciated. If you want to join us again in the future, if you're new, we do this every morning starting at 9. So 11:11 Make-A-Wish Kitchener Leslie says, certainly feel free to do that. But other than that, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.